So we've been called to a Model Year 17 DAF XF. Apparently none of the dash switches are working, so we'll go and jump into the truck now, verify the customer's concern and see what's going on. As always, we need to identify the customer's concern. Do any of the switches actually work? Have we got any faults? Right, so we've got a EBS malfunction. The DPF regeneration inhibit button isn't lighting up. That's not working. That's not working. Right, so all these switches are dead, basically. Right, let's get jaltest from Eclipse Diagnostics plugged in and see what's going on. We'll do auto VIN identification as always. We want Model Year 17 onwards. And we want switches. Switches. Cabin switch module. There we go, CSM. Thank you very much. It's got a fault code reading. The ECU has no fault codes apparently, but yet none of the switches work. If we go to measurements, measurement selection, accept, we'll just look at all of them. So now we can see that the majority of our switches are not available. Traction help switch, hill starting aid switch, lane departure activation, ABS, DPF. We can concentrate on our lin switches. So now we know none of these switches work. It's a case of identifying which switch is causing it. So let's pull all the switches out. I think we'll start with this bank here. What we'll do is we'll turn this switch on and get this switch out of here. Oh my God. Now we've got this bank of switches out of here, we'll just disconnect the switch. And the DPF switch is now illuminated. And our errors have gone off the dash for ABS. So now we've regained the functionality of ABS and our DPF regeneration switch. The question is, which switch is it here? Well, we'll disconnect the lift axle switch first and see if the DPF regeneration light lights up. Nope. Let's put that back in there. Let's disconnect our rear suspension dump button. Oh, there we go. Our DPF regeneration light's now lit up. We've regained functionality on ABS. That switch now works. So the question is, what happens when we put this back in? The light's now gone out. So I'd like to say the switch out of these two switches that are on this switch bank that is crashing our limb system is this rear dump button. So we're going to need to get one of these. 2141416. That's the faulty switch. So there we go. Nice, quick, easy diagnostics on this XF. So that was a nice, short and sweet fault. But now we're going to head over to Trafford Park and sort out Chris. He's pulling out what little hair he's got left with a brake light fault on Euro 6 DAF XF. Hopefully we can sort it out for him and point him in the right direction before he sets the truck on fire. So, let's get out of here. Right, so we've got a brake light fault today. I've just wedged the brake pedal now in the cab. The ignition's on. As you can see, the brake lights are working on the tracked unit, but if we go to the back of the trailer, we got nothing. So where do we go from here? So we'll just get jaltest plugged in from Eclipse Diagnostics. So we're in our ECU list now. We'll go to ELC, and from ELC we can go to diagrams and we can go to model specific wiring diagrams. From here we can search our brake light. So this is our brake light left, which we know works. But if we scroll across and zoom in a touch more, you'll see this is our trailer connector 24N. Our wire number is 2677 and it goes to pin 4 in the plug. That goes through a connector which is 107F in the chassis. And then that goes up then to 34D10 at the bulkhead. So we'll investigate this circuit now and see what's going on. So we'll start by checking the Susie. Earth at the top. Not the best way to do this. Live at the bottom. Nothing. So we'll go to the Susie on the truck now. So we've got nothing there. Right. Let's check the harness. So we'll try and trace this wire back now down the chassis. We'll follow it down here. And I think we'll cut into it by here and see what's going on this pin 4. So let's cut this open and have a look. So we want 2577, which is this wire here. So I'm going to pierce this wire now. And now we're going to test it for power. So we'll just test we've got powers and grounds off the alternator. So my test light's working. We'll now test the wire. And we've got nothing. Nothing here at all. Now to repair this wire, there's a bit of silicone sealant. So we'll just work that into the wire. Put some cable ties back on there in a minute. Right, let's go to the bulkhead. Right, so that should come off now. If I'd have... So we need an earth. That'll do. Check we've got power. Yep, right. 34D10. 34 ABCD 34D. That's this one here. And then it's pin 10. So that's 6, that'll be 9, that'll be 12. So 3, 5, 7, 7. So there's power there. And to check, we'll just go and remove the wedge from the brake pedal. So that's gone from here now. So the brake is between here and the wiring harness, most probably down here. So we'll look down here now for the brake in the wire. So we'll trace this harness down here now. Can I see anything obvious in the harness? So I've just pulled the harness off here now. We can follow this down. We'll slide it through here, hopefully. And what have we got here on the corner? As you can see, the bracket has rubbed through the wiring harness for the trailer lights. So this is where our brake is, and this is where we'll have to concentrate our efforts on our repair. So we're just unplugging the various looms that are part of this other loom here now. We'll just drag out what we can. So this is the harness we're going to have to repair now. So we'll cut down into here and try and repair these wires that have gone here. We'll just slowly cut into this. So some extra wire and some heat shrinks later, we've now added a piece of rubber pipe in here to protect the wire from this bracket that DAF have so kindly put in here for the wires to rub through. Hopefully now when we pull all these back through and plug it all in, everything works. So let's get all these plugged back into the bulkhead. Okay. And then this one went here. Right, let's get this bolted back up now and get the cover back on. So we'll just turn the ignition on now. Go find our Susie. Earth in the top, lights in the bottom. There we go, 24.3 volts. So we'll just plug this in and we'll go and have a look. Ta-da! Nearly fell in there then.
I put a knot on it.
Right, no problem. So I'm going to leave Chris now to put this bulkhead cover back on. He's also going to put the insulation on that I've took off there underneath the cab. And yeah, that should be him good then. Right, where are we off next? So we've got our last job to do now. It's another ex-Jack Richards Euro 6 DAF XF. It's lit up like a Christmas tree apparently, so we'll get into this now and see what's going on. Right, what have we got going on in here? Let's put this so we can see it. So we've got engine malfunction, exhaust system malfunction, that's always fun, and an accelerator pedal malfunction. We'll get jaltest plugged in from Eclipse Diagnostics and see what's going on. Let's get this plugged in. That should do us. Let's go see what faults we've got. So it's Euro 6, and I think it's best that we just do a main system scan to give us sort of a overview of all the faults that are currently present, engine and EAS at the same time. So our system scan's now complete. We'll have a look at what's going on here on PCI and EAS3 on ACAN. Wow. So we've got humidity sensor, BPV actuator, and sensor 2 of the accelerator pedal. They've all got faults. So maybe all these things have actually got something in common. So we'll go over to diagrams, nothing fancy, and we'll put in humidity. Humidity sensor. So this is our humidity sensor here, and this is our BPV actuator, and they are both fed on a fuse 703. Now it was the accelerator pedal as well, so I'll have a look at that. Accelerator pedal sensor 2. That's this part here, that's sensor 1, that's sensor 2, and that, funnily enough, is fed on E703. Where's E703? Let's have a look. So this is our diagram from jaltest, and luckily it flashes when it highlights where the fuse is. So there's a 15 amp fuse in A3029, something like that. So let's go and have a look at that. So we'll have a look at this fuse here, which was A30, which is a 15 amp fuse. We'll use my LED test light. These are available on the shop if you want them. I've had this for 2 years now and it's been great. So there's 25 volts there, and there's nothing on the other side of that. That was the fault. Blown fuse. So we'll put this fuse in now and we'll see what happens. Fuse is in. Let's see if the faults are gone. Let's turn the ignition off and back on. So we've still got engine malfunction, and we've still got exhaust system malfunction. Right, let's go and see what's active. So we'll go back to diagnostic menu. Oh no, what have I done? So we'll go back into engine now. We'll see what's active in here. Nothing would be nice. Fault code reading. So the only issues we've got here now are software errors. So all the other faults on the truck are gone. We'll just delete these faults. Right, let's go cycle the ignition. Let's turn the ignition off. Give it 15 seconds and turn the ignition back on. Well, there's nothing there. Well, the faults are gone, but there's still a fault with the accelerator pedal. So if we look at our fault codes, we've still got accelerator pedal, intermittent or incorrect data. Well, we'll just delete that. We'll go and cycle the ignition, but we'll take jaltest with us. So we'll have this out of here. So what we're looking for now is measurements. So what I've got here is the pulse width modulation sensor 2 accelerator pedal signal, the pulse width modulation sensor 1 accelerator pedal, and any synchronization errors and the pedal position. So when we press the pedal, this should go up and down, but what you'll notice with these is one goes up and one goes down. Basically, they should always add up to about 100%. So 20 and 80, 100. So if we press the accelerator pedal now, See, now we're at the full scale or full percentage of the accelerator being down, 100%. We've got 30% on PWM1 and 71% on PWM2. So we're at the other end of the scale. See, 80-20. See kick down working here. Right, so let's start this up and see what happens again. Well, that just must have been a rogue fault. There you go, that was the fault. So the fault was a blown fuse. We'll just check it for faults again. There's no faults in the memory. We'll get the driver to go for a spin in it, but I'd say that's it. Nothing too tasking or interesting in this week's video, unfortunately, but my question to you guys, if you wouldn't mind answering in the comments, is do you want stuff like this? I've already covered BPV, VTG turbo actuators and injectors, so I try not to film them, but unfortunately I do diagnose and change these most weeks. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you do want more content from myself in the week, you can catch me over on Instagram. We've got the members area on Truck Tech UK as well on the forum. And as always, if you thought this was a good video, please give it a like. Subscribe if you're not, and I'll catch you in next week's video.